Moving on, we have specification number 5, which asks us to understand the terms producer, consumer, herbivore, carnivore, and decomposer. As you can see in the diagram, every ecosystem depends on these different groups of organisms. Producers, such as plants and algae, capture energy from the sun and make their own food. Herbivores, also called primary consumers, feed on producers. Carnivores, which may be secondary or tertiary consumers, obtain energy by feeding on other animals. Finally, decomposers, including bacteria, fungi, and some invertebrates, break down dead organisms and waste materials, returning nutrients to the environment. These nutrients are then reused by producers, allowing the cycle to continue. In this way, energy flows through the food chain while nutrients are continuously recycled within the ecosystem. Now, let's understand each of these terms one by one. Let's begin with the producer. The key definition of a producer is an organism that makes its own food using energy from sunlight through photosynthesis, or from other energy sources. A producer is able to manufacture its own food instead of obtaining it from other organisms. In most ecosystems, producers use sunlight to carry out photosynthesis, converting light energy into chemical energy stored as glucose. This stored energy becomes available to every other organism in the food chain. Because of this, producers form the first trophic level and the foundation of all food chains. Most producers are green plants and algae, although some bacteria can produce food using chemical energy rather than sunlight. Next, let's talk about the consumer. The key definition of a consumer is an organism that obtains energy by feeding on other organisms. Consumers cannot make their own food, so they depend on other living organisms for energy. Some consumers feed directly on producers, while others feed on other consumers. Depending on their position in the food chain, they are classified as primary, secondary, or tertiary consumers. Their role is to transfer energy from one trophic level to the next. Now, let's discuss the herbivore. The key definition of a herbivore is a consumer that feeds only on plants or producers. Herbivores obtain their energy by eating plants and are therefore known as primary consumers. They occupy the second trophic level in a food chain and play an important role in transferring energy from producers to higher-level consumers. Common examples of herbivores include cows, rabbits, and grasshoppers. Next, we have the carnivore. The key definition of a carnivore is a consumer that feeds on other animals. Carnivores obtain their energy by eating other consumers. Those that feed on herbivores are called secondary consumers, while those that feed on other carnivores are known as tertiary consumers. Carnivores help maintain ecological balance by controlling the populations of other organisms. Examples include lions, snakes, and hawks. Finally, let's look at the decomposer. The key definition of a decomposer is an organism, such as bacteria or fungi, that breaks down dead organisms and waste material, releasing nutrients back into the environment. Decomposers feed on dead plants, dead animals, and organic waste. As they break down this material, nutrients are released back into the soil and surrounding environment, where they can be absorbed again by producers. This recycling of nutrients is essential for maintaining healthy ecosystems and preventing the accumulation of dead organic matter. Without decomposers, nutrients would remain locked inside dead organisms, and the growth of producers would eventually be limited.